Hello, this is just a continuation of the lecture 44 part 2 because the battery died on me yesterday and I hadn't quite finished, so I'm going to just finish off a little bit more and then this will be quite short, and then I'm going to go on to lecture 45, which I'll do as a separate video. So we were looking at, so just saying that we added up the words south, east, west and north, east, south, west, and the placement value, and we got to 270, and we were saying that that was the number for peace and war, and this was part of Jacob's promise from God that he would be scattered out amongst the nations. So it's Ufurasta, Yom Ovakema, Tuanova Negba, Furasta. The word Furasta is to spread out. You shall spread out. Furasta is equal to 770. We'll see the significance of that number. We have seen it already in quite a few lectures, this number 770, but we'll see it in particular in the next lecture when we look at the magic square of 7 by 7. We have looked at that here already. We saw that in the 7 by 7 magic square, all the lines add up to 175, and 770, which we also have had before. If we write it as 770, 770 would equal to 175. And this is the spreading out in all directions. The number 7 represents actually more than just the 4 directions. It represents up and down, and that's the 6 directions really, up and down, north, south, east and west. And then you have the point in the middle where the point from which all the other directions are measured. That's the Sabbath day, that's the central point, and all the other 6 days of the week come out from that central point. And this is represented by the menorah in the temple, where it's all 7 branches, the middle branch and the 3 on either side, all were made out of one lump of gold, and that is the unification of the 7 represents the unification and bringing together of the 7 aspects of creation. So, and that's at the one point, the Sabbath, and the point in space and the point in time. So we have that with the 4 seasons, with the 4 representing the time element, and the 4 directions. That is all brought together within the ziggurat, which is the pyramid with the square pyramid. And I'll do a lecture at some time on pyramids based on my book on pyramids, which I'm still writing, and I'll show you how the 4 seasons are connecting, especially with a particular pyramid in the country of Mexico. So, okay, so I was finishing last lecture on the on the idea of shalom, peace, was the same at gematria. I was just finishing this off. That's 13, but add those together, 21, 33, 39, 49, 52 is 52, and that's the same gematria as Mashiach. And that's 13, 21, 10 and 8. Okay? Mashiach, which means anointed. And that is connected to the fact that when Jacob had finished, had his dream, he took the stone that was which he rested his head upon, and he put it up as a matzeva, as a sort of like a monument, and then he anointed it with oil, with olive oil, and that is what Mashiach means. It means the anointed one, the one that is anointed with oil. And the anointing of oil is the let's say the super consciousness of the person. It's the flow of energy that comes into the person. As another subject which we need to look into another time. So so we've got this idea. This is also 52. Of course, if you want to look into the opposite side of all this, the devil is also 52 as well. Okay, so these are the forces that are combat each other to bring about the final redemption. So let's have a look. We go from there. Yes, sorry, there was one other thing, I might have written it down here, but if you take eagle, eagle is also related to star, because you've got 270 plus 30, I think now you can see the whole ball, because I didn't do it quite well yesterday, that's 300, 270 and 30, which is the whole value of eagle, which is star, which we had before. The star has a large value of 300. We looked at the normal value was 391, and so let's look at just one other aspect of this, and it's the idea that Joseph talks about the place where he had his dream. He talks this is the house of God, the Shah Shemaim, the gate of heaven, and he calls the place Beit El. You'll see with Jacob, he has a sort of connection with stone, with building, and with house. It says with Abraham, he's referred to as a mountain. Isaac is a field where Abraham he talks to the angels, or one angel, on the mountain when he has a conversation with God on the mountain when he's looking down at Sodom, and therefore he has a communication with God on the mountain. It says with Yitzchak, Isaac, he was siach besoda, he was meditating in the field when Rebecca came from with Eliezer to marry him. He was in the field, walking in the field, meditating. And with Jacob, he's the idea of the house. You've got the mountain, the field, and the house, the construction of civilization. They all represent a certain element of spiritual awareness. So he talks about this place. So in Hebrew it's called Hamakom Hazer. So Hamakom Hazer, this place, has a placement value of 73. And we saw that the word stone equals also 73 in the placement value. And if we were to take the final mem as with the alternative value for the final mem, it's 13 normally, but when they put it at the end of the alphabet, it is 24. It's another 11 more. Okay, so if I add another 11 onto this, I'll get 84. Oh dear, that pen's dying. I think I'll throw him away now. There we are. Wow, 84. That's the alternative placement value, the APV, and that equals, we had before in the first part of this lecture, heap. It also equals peace. So, and placement value. So we've got this idea that Hamakom Hazer, this place, is a place for peace. And it's Beit El, is the house of God. That becomes where the temple is, or was and will be, and it will be a house of prayer for all peoples, and therefore will be a house of peace. And the word Jerusalem is from the word Ir Shalem. Oops, that's not there. Ir Shalem. Yerushalayim means the city of peace, or the complete peace, or the completeness, the wholeness of something. Shalem means wholeness. The Muslim or Arabic would say Salem, Salam, Jerusalem, Salem. So Salem or Shalom, Shalom is peace, and here is the so we've got Yerushalayim is the city of peace. It might not look that way at the moment, but believe me, that is the intent in the end of the days when this whole ingathering takes place, this unity that's going to be formed. So now let me just go back to our pile of stone, or heap, which Jacob made, and let's have a look at the stones. I'm just going to do it side on, right? So these are the levels, and one more. So we said this has got 49 stones, this has got 25 stones, just the odd ones. This is 9 and this is 1, okay? These have those number of stones, and we added that all together and we got 84, which was heap. Right? So in actual fact, the number of stones in that are exactly the number that make up heap, 84, and are connoted Hamakom Hazer, this place. So what happens if we fuse together the middle stone? The middle stone of each one. The middle stone of obviously the top one is just 1. The middle stone of the 3 by 3 magic square is a 5. and the middle stone of the 5 by 5 stone is 13, and the middle stone for the 7 by 7 is 25. If I add those together, well, I'll do that now, but actually it's not. I should put there's 1 and 5 is 6, 9, 19, 39, 44. That's our ladder. Okay, that's 25 plus 13 is 38, 39, 44. So we have this fusing together ladder, which we said was also connected to the word yachad in Hebrew, which was two values there. We had the placement and the placement value and the normal value, which is the total value. So yachad gives you 44, and there was one other thing. Was it 44 yachad and uni? And we said that was also the placement value of unity coming together. So that we're going to put those together now, and we're going to be left with these four together, four middle stones forming one, means we're going to be left with 3 less. So we're going to get only 81 stones now, because the middle one is 4 stones fused together. Okay, so that is actually the gematria of square, which you've had before as well, and that is of course 9 squared. So we see that we've done this on the lecture on the square, where the placement value is each one, and the normal value was 576, which is 24 squared. We'll look at that again in the next lecture on the pyramids. So we see this coming together again of the idea of square. The square is that which brings things together. So as a circle, because we talked about the circle, anything that surrounds is obviously that which contains something and brings everything together. So I think that's there was a bit more here. It gets a little bit more complicated, so I'm not going to really go into all these things. Just a little thing of interest here. If you were to take these numbers here, 1, 5, 13, 25, this number 25 is a very special number. 25 is the letter Y. Y is the 25th letter. And in the Hebrew alphabet, the 25th letter is the final nun, when it's put at the end of the alphabet. So the final nun, which is just a straight line down, and that is what this is. This is the nun, the line going down. We said that nun, if you spell out the word nun as a letter in Hebrew, it's nun. Nun is 56 plus 50 is 106, which we've had this before, is the same as kav. Kuf is 100, Vav is 6, 106, Nun is a line, Kav means a line, and this is the line that unifies everything together. So this is connected, by the way, in a very important way to this idea of the unification theory of all the 4 different sorts of forces that are in nature. We've mentioned that before, and this is where the number 4 comes in. So, so I rubbed it off. 1, 5, 13, and 25. If I work out the placement value for each of these words, so the word 1 is 34, the word 5 is 42, the word 13 is 99, and the word 25 is 149. Let's add those together now. So I've got 4 and 2 is 6, 99 is 18, it's 24. So I've got 3 and 4 is 7, 9 is 16, 20, 22. And 1 and 2 is 3. So I get the number 324. What's 324? It is 18 squared. 18 is high, life. So we get another square number coming into this. But I'm not going to go into singlets of that at the moment. So I think we're going to leave it there. Oh, there's little bits and pieces I could go more into, but I won't. That's giving you a taste of the idea. So just to round it up, the whole essence of this is the idea of peace, the idea of unity and bringing together. That was what we have with Jacob's dream, with the stone coming together, and this is what we have when, and that's what Jacob prays, is if you bring me back in peace to my father's house, and I will give tithes of all that you give me. So so I hope you got something out of that lecture. It's quite complicated. It does get deep, and if you're interested in even more on this subject, this is a very esoteric book, as most of my books are. This is on my website at worlddiscoverers.com, well, just go to come out. It's usually my description. I'll put it in. I don't think I have put it in the previous lecture. So that book is available there as an ebook or as a paperback. I'm going to go to do lecture. I'm going to call it lecture 45. This is going to be lecture 44 part B or whatever. Lecture 45 will be also on magic squares, particularly to do with the pyramid. Again, the idea of stacking and what all these sort of some of the significance of the pyramid, what it means. So, until next time, I hope you have a good time. Be well. Bye bye.